By the dawn's early night, what's so early we had at this twilight. Through the barrel.
This is the Major Indoor Lacrosse League on the Deuce. Tonight, the undefeated first-place Buffalo Bandits poke the whale on the high-flying Rochester Knighthawks. Back chance, Sparky.
John Tavares is the runaway leader for league MVP. He can beat you with one big hit or one big shot. Tavares, he ties. Tavares tied the game, and he wins the game. Last week, Tavares stole a win from the Blazers. The Knighthawks need to handcuff the Bandits.
A guy like John Tavares, he loves to create plays and transition plays, and you got to keep an eye on him all the time. He's probably one of the trickiest players in the league.
He's going to give you 2-3 goals, 2-3 assists, but we want to keep the other guys off the scoreboard.
The Knighthawks pack some power of their own. Chris Driscoll and Paul Gait provide a potent 1-2 punch. A win tonight ensures a playoff berth for Rochester, while the Bandits try to keep their undefeated season intact. It's Tavares and Dowling against Gait, the Great. You're looking at the all-in Buffalo. Could be a sellout crowd as Rochester tries to dethrone the undefeated Buffalo Bandits here on ESPN2, our coverage of major indoor lacrosse. Let's take a look at two of the superstars you'll see. Chris Driscoll leads his team in points with 37, a career year for him. And Jim Veltman may take over as all-time leader in this league in assists. He only needs 4, could get it tonight. Goalies are huge. Steve Dietrich having a little bit of a shaky year emotionally, but he's playing well. He is second in the mill. 13 assists for Pat O'Toole. Pat O'Toole not only stops the ball, but he ignites the offense for the great Buffalo team. Rochester being the teal, purple, and white. Buffalo in the orange and black. And the head-to-head for these two teams is pretty intense. Buffalo is 1-2 lifetime, and Rochester enjoys that 2-1 record. Last met 14-9. It was a win for Buffalo. And that was on the back of John Tavares. We talked about in the open. He's the huge team killer. And right away, Carol Barr comes in and stings the shoulder of Dietrich. 15-minute quarters. 30-second shot clock, and we are underway. Rochester won here last year. Their only road victory in their history. Cordingley comes in. He's got Ciccone to the right. Rips one, but Dietrich comes way out to cut down the angle. Hey, how about that crowd? Listen to them getting charged up. They love their team here. Here comes Paul Gait looking for the ball. He gets it. It's nailed by that tough defense. Paul Gait working hard off the ball, gives it up very quickly up front to Park. Park can't find Lyons. Shot clock down to 6. All the way down low, Driscoll can't set it past the legs of O'Toole. They get a reset, a fresh 30 seconds. Great finishing team. Now, no angle there for Driscoll. A little bit quick to take that shot. And you're off the cylinder. On the goaltender. Rochester ball. Off the goaltender here, Bill Fox. He's the white-hatted referee, the head referee. He's mic'd. You'll hear him go through the wars on the floor. Paul Gait, pick and roll, far side. Emick takes a shot that goes wide. This will be backcourt violation when they touch it.
That's an overback violation.
And here comes Buffalo. No score early on in this game as you look at Steve Dietrich. I talked about him emotionally. He's taken himself out of 2 games. Now, he's a top-notch goalie, no question about it. But what's that say about him when he's taking himself out? Well, he gets a look when he knows he's having a rocky game. He doesn't mind telling the coach. Starting off strong in this game, Dietrich is. They call him Chugger. Tom Fair with the ball number 4, one of the rookies that have retooled this team in. Close. Rope. Dietrich Dietrich says he's okay. Watch Kilgore backdoor cut. He cuts inside, takes it from Emick, and right over the shoulder of Dietrich. Beautiful job for Kilgore, who did not play last week against Boston. He beat Emick inside. This is a reverse angle, and just takes it past Dietrich. You can't let your man get in that tight. You know that at home watching this, but it was a great backdoor cut. Here comes Rochester inside. Trailing player is Soudan. He's checked by Darius Kilgore, who just scored a goal. Saccone to the wing as Veltman now resets. Hall comes on, Cochran comes on, Veltman will come off. Hall just takes a hard shot, bounces off of Emick. Jason Luke, another one of the good-looking rookies trying to get it. He can't. Ball loose, this will be backcourt. Now they pick it up from a loose ball. Possession was lost for a moment, so they get the freshman. This is Jason Luke. A lot of rookies making an impact for Buffalo. Luke is one of them. Dietrich now looks for the outlet. Finds Silcott. Silcott runs to the sidelines. They change lines. Lemon comes on, gets the ball. Fietta's on with him, a great player from Syracuse. This is Dewey Jacobs, who hasn't had a lot of big numbers. Can score, can finish. No big numbers this year. Mearns right now. Mearns, an ex-Buffalo Bandit. Ryder to Jacobs. Up top of the cylinder. Fietta from Syracuse. He's got to go right, doesn't have anything against the tough defense of Saccone. Shot clock down to 1, they'll lose possession. 3 minutes gone in this game. Bandits lead 1-0. Here comes Cordingley.
Bandits bringing it back.
Kilgore didn't play against Boston, and he was eager to shoot. He has the only goal so far. Wrapped up defensively, it'll be a 2-minute penalty. Holding call on Brian Lemon, number 7. He'll get a 2-minute penalty. Now it'll be the power play. 5-on-4 for Tavares and company.
Wait for the whistle, Dewey. Wait for the whistle. Hang in.
Watch Lemon route him up. Now he gets Cordingley. Cordingley backs in. The double team doesn't work. Lemon did not release him. Holding call. Now you would think this great team from Buffalo would have just an explosive power play. Well, they've got a lot of great shooters, but they haven't had big numbers, at least the last 2 games. Here comes Sudan as he gets the ball. Buffalo is great in transition. That's where they want to get you running, and they can finish beautifully. O'Toole came way out of the goal. The gamble works. Rochester wanted to kill the clock. Didn't get the chance. Watch out. Down deep. Cordingley back to the trailer. And find the back door of Dietrich. Good play. Dowling with the Dodgers. Cordingley. He can't beat Dietrich. Oh, that'll be great for his confidence. Dietrich making a sensational save. Jacobs. Soudan. He'll go to finish. Can't beat O'Toole. Jason Luke up to Cordingley. Jason Luke holds himself. Look at the speed of Buffalo's new rookie. Cordingley can't beat him again. Dietrich absolutely sensational with the last 2 saves. A minute to go in this penalty. They'll be able to knock off about 30 seconds if they can hold it. Lyons looking for help. He's double teamed. He doesn't get it. Mearns isn't helping him at all. He's on the sideline now. Park does.
I need one.
You heard Mearns say, I need one. He was dead tired. Driscoll comes on. Mearns can take a shot. He's in the cylinder to Driscoll. Driscoll did a great job of coming in and pushing the backside. Buffalo was double teaming, and a man short. Rochester scores. They tied at 1. Driscoll came in. They double teamed the ball. He was wide open. Great finishing shot on O'Toole. This game's all tied. Tonight's major indoor lacrosse league game of the week on ESPN2 is brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. By Bryant Lacrosse Equipment, the first name in lacrosse equipment and apparel. Lee Felsmill back at the odd. This game's all tied at 1. You know, Rochester has a great record, 2-1 against Buffalo. They won here last year, and they do it on the back usually of Paul Gait. He's impossible to stop when he is right. A tremendous scorer. Paul Gait is the leading goal scorer all time in the mill. 179 goals. Now, the special talents of Paul Gait require special talents from a defenseman, and they think they found it in Buffalo with the gatekeeper, Steve Fennell. He is a sensational defensive specialist, and Quinn Kesselnick, he is going to have a tough time tonight matching up against the powerful Paul Gait.
That's right. It's going to be a great matchup, Gait versus Fennell. Paul, tell me what makes Steve Fennell such a tough one-on-one defenseman.
Well, he's a very smart defenseman. He knows when to hold, he knows when to let go. Makes it tough to run off ball, and that's what a good defenseman does.
Are you going to try to do anything special against him?
I'm just going to try and not let him get a hold of me and try and move off ball and get around him.
Paul Gait, 179 career goals, 2 goals, the first time these two teams met earlier this season.
And Quint, I think it's a good omen for Rochester that he was moving well off the ball that first series. He was running hard, coming in looking for the ball when he didn't have it in possession. He gets so much attention when he has the ball, so that when his other teammates have it, he's moving hard. He is very tough to control. There's Kilgore with Buffalo. They are still in the power play. 24 seconds left there. Rochester just scored shorthanded. Kilgore is in the crease. They didn't call it. This is a goal. This will be tough to take.
Okay, still inside the crease.
Finally, a crease violation. Kilgore fell into the crease, and they didn't call it. Normally, if it's incidental, they don't call it. That one could have been a big in the crease because they may have scored off of it. Here comes Driscoll. He scored the last goal. They are still killing a penalty. 2 more seconds left. They've done a great job, Rochester has, killing that penalty. Now they are all even. Referee Bill Fox says it's all even. Here comes Pete Park. Number 15. He's a load. 6'4", very tough, strong, all by himself. Can't beat O'Toole. Arm save. Pete Park is most effective when he's on the back door taking a backdoor shot with the attention of the goalie and the defense on the other side. That was more of a one-on-one move. He's not the quickest player on the team. Very strong and a good, quick finishing shot. Usually from the backside. That's where he's effective. Teams of even strength now. Game tied at 1. Park playing defense. Couldn't beat Ciccone. Fennell's the tough defender we talked about. And there's a shot off Dietrich. Resetting the shot clock, ball around now. Here comes Rochester. Christy Lee, Fennell's a tough defender.
He is a smart defenseman, and you've got the job of handling Paul Gait.
Yeah, Les gave me the job to mark Paul. What I got to do is isolate him from the ball, make sure that he doesn't get the ball. And if the guys on my line like Jim Veltman will help me back him up.
You've got a lot of experience in that in Canada.
Yeah, I watched Gary Gait. He plays for Brooklyn in Canada. I watched him for the last 2 years. I just was lucky enough that Paul played for my team, so I didn't have to watch them both.
All right, Steve Fennell held Paul to 2 goals. Tom Emick just scored for Rochester. Leaf.
All right, Christy Lee, boy, what a great score. Watch Bomberry, the stealth bomber. Now it's loose. Emick picks it up, dives in, and finds rope on the backside. O'Toole with a big first save, but Emick with a follow-up shot. That's his 2nd goal of the season. Rochester leads 2-1. Interesting note, Rochester has a great record when they are leading or tied going into the half. They are 0-3 when they're not leading going into the half. A lot of time left here. Let's see how they play the first 2 quarters. Hold call on Fair, who's defending this man, Timmy Soudan. Soudan, a tremendous player, all-pro at Boston. And it came from the Blazers to the Rochester franchise last year. Teams at even strength. 2-1 lead for Rochester in the blue and white. Way out front. Not much of a shot. Emick's had a great start here, Quinn Kesselnick.
Played here in Buffalo for 3 years. Last year you had 2 goals, and you got it off started with a nice goal there.
I think I was a little lucky on that one. Ball bouncing on the crease, just pick it up and scoop it in. I'll take it, though.
Is O'Toole known for giving up rebounds?
I'm not quite sure, but I'll be looking for more, that's for sure.
Emick in the lineup tonight, Leaf, because he played for Buffalo, and last year he did have success. This is only his 4th game of the season.
And he is usually a defensive player. A real headhunter at Tommy Emick, a tough defender. So that makes him very comfortable getting that early goal. Here comes Veltman.
Reset!
Reset by Bill Fox, the referee, and Veltman to Tavares. This is a tough line. Dowling, a great finisher. And Thorpe plays him. This is the defensive specialist, Thorpe. Uh-oh, he's open in front. They tried to position it, but Ryder knocks it out. Timeout on the field, 2-1. Rochester leading this one. We've got 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Don't miss the NHL Tonight on the Deuce, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 p.m. or following the game. Join Bill Pito in the ESPN studios, Sports Center for the hockey fan. All the day's highlights and news from the NHL as well as special features. Don't miss it on the Deuce, NHL Tonight. And tonight we've got our exclusive coverage of major indoor lacrosse. Leaf Elsmo, Quinn Kesnick, Christy Lee. They're down on the benches now. Tom Fair takes a shot against Dietrich, who's looked pretty sharp early on. 2-1, Rochester leads. They beat Buffalo last year right here at the Aud.
Push! From the back! Get on the ground! Get away from me! Go from the back! From the back, push!
Wow, let's get one here. Everybody get your hands
Fresh 30 for Darius Kilgore. This is what all the discussion was about. Fair's in there. Ryder gets nailed against Fair. A big check from behind. Fair wanted a call. This is Travis Kilgore, the youngest and biggest of the Kilgore bunch. This is Darius the middle. Reset for Ryder and company. He's looking for the outlet. Back to Dietrich, who will control as they change lines. Dangerous in there. That's why you don't clear bench side. You see how Dowling almost took off the head of Driscoll. They usually always clear away from the benches. Clark can't pull it down. Driscoll back to him. He's looking for a shot. He's already got one goal. Rips that one, goes high. Follow up by Lyons. And then again by Park. O'Toole very active. A follow-up again that goes high and wide. O'Toole getting a lot of pressure. Now he'll clear far side to Tavares. Driscoll waits for him. Watch out. Here comes Luke, but he couldn't pick it up. Paul Gait. He's got space. Park couldn't pull it in. Boy, what a great feed that was as Paul Gait came down and he gave it up to Park. Watch out. Now it's on the Fietta against John Tavares. Tavares, who really has big numbers. Luke can't beat Dietrich. Well, Dietrich is absolutely scorching. He is so hot.
Have a push. Going back, Buffalo ball. My ball here, Steven. Thank you.
I talked about Dietrich twice this year. Has taken himself out of a game when he hasn't felt comfortable. It's going to make you wonder as a coach, but he has great numbers. He really did a big job last year.
Let's go inside, Cochran. Let's go.
Cochran holding inside. There's Dietrich smothering it up. Reset, and Vietta's off and running against Cochran. 9-on-9. Gait up front. He's looking for Gait. Oh, couldn't pull it in. Paul now has it 1-on-1. Paul matched up with it. This is a good matchup for Paul Gait, but he elects to pull it back. Paul Gait took it back. He had the smaller player Hall against him.
Zone!
And here comes Cam Bomberry, the stealth bomber. Can't get it past O'Toole, and that one just bounces in. Do you believe it? Dietrich tried to get rid of it. I think he dropped it. That one goes in 3-1. Rochester by 2.
Okay.
That was hard to watch. I couldn't see what happened. Stealth bomber comes in. Now watch Dietrich. Dietrich tries to check it out, but it was Dewey Jacobs who chipped it in. It was Dietrich checking against Dewey Jacobs, but Dewey Jacobs just bats that one in. His 16th goal of the season and a 2-goal lead for the Knighthawks.
Hold on, Mike. You got to put another goalie in and take a timeout. Let's go. Put him back in. We're set.
Dietrich came over for an equipment problem. They said you had to put another goalie in if you don't call a timeout.
Timeout. Yes, I will. Okay.
Dietrich ran back out there. He said, no, don't take me out. He's so hot. He's had some great saves early on. 4 minutes left in the first quarter, a 2-goal lead for the Knighthawks. Big face-off. Buffalo undefeated, but they've really ridden the back. They're top-heavy in the fact that John Tavares has been the guy. Their last 4 wins has had John Tavares being the MVP. Jacobs with a big goal, and Quinn Kesnick has him.
It's the second goal you guys have scored off of rebounds in front. Tell me about that last one.
Well, I just tried to get in the middle. We had an extra man up on a delayed penalty. So I just went to the middle, and Cam went in for a shot. It went straight down, and it was loose in the crease. So as far as I know, that's a legal play. You can bat it in. That's all I did.
Duane Jacobs, 7th overall in the league as far as scoring.
Meanwhile, Kilgore gets roped. Darius Kilgore scorches one. It was a delayed call. The goalie was pulled. It's 6-on-5. Nobody picks up Kilgore, and he beats Chugger.
Bomberry. Goal stands.
Kilgore's second goal tonight. But the big key there was that it was a delayed penalty call, and the goalie O'Toole came out and gave them a 6-on-5 advantage, and Kilgore was the open man. 3 minutes left, a 3-2 lead now for Rochester. Good pickup by Lemon. They were trying to get it across to Simone. Buffalo picked up that faceoff. They are not a good faceoff team. Neither team big numbers in the faceoff department. Matt Ryder is hit by 2 players, but Lemon tries to follow no angle roll. Up front, Dewey Jacobs can't collect it. Well, Jacobs had the whole net in front of him and couldn't pick it up.
Tommy, let's go. You got him up high. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
We've got a timeout in the action in the first quarter. 2:39 left in this first quarter. A 1-goal lead for Rochester.
We're back at the Aud in Buffalo. Joining me is Darius Kilgore. Darius, you had the last goal for the Buffalo Bandits. Actually, you've got both of the points so far. That was a nice shot. Talk about it.
You know, they had a penalty, so our goalie came off, and I was the extra man. They didn't really recognize it, I don't think, and they just let me wind up from about 20 yards away. And, you know, if I can pick a spot, you know, there's not too many goalies in the league that are going to stop it. You know, it's just happened to be in the right spot at the right time.
So a nice surprise, 6-on-5. Darius Kilgore comes up with the big goal. Buffalo just received a 2-minute penalty, Tom Fair, for roughing, so they'll be a man down as we resume action. Leaf?
Great finishers on the Rochester bench. There's Fair in the old Stin bin. 2:39 left in the first quarter. And this will be Gait on the shooter's left, right there, Paul Gait. Mearns up top. He can't get it back. Paul Gait just threw it over his head. They'll lose possession. Over and back, you believe it? They come off. The defensive specialists go on. That's Thorpe and Silcott. Mearns stays on. Soudan comes on, and Emick. So Rochester now puts their defensive guys. You saw Rochester score shorthanded. So you can't take this with a cavalier attitude. You can't just double team the ball and expect that you'll get it back. Buffalo did that, and Driscoll scored on them. Now you'll see them be very, very careful, Rochester will. They just will wait to get the ball back after 30 seconds. Dowling tries to push it. Here comes Emick. He's got space in front. He'll be run down by Luke. Luke has tremendous wheels. Here comes Mearns, and now some fresh legs coming on. Paul Gait comes back. Here comes Jacobs. Emick goes back off. And Park completes that 5-team explosive power play. Mearns up top, all by himself, comes in close. And he takes the angle away and can't beat O'Toole. He didn't have much left. Paul Gait back up top to Driscoll. This is Park who likes to finish. Get it back. These guys with some sloppy passes. Now that came off the stick of Driscoll, of Darius Kilgore, and that's why that was not backcourt. Mearns back to Paul Gait. Now they've shifted up in the middle. Look at the pass. O'Toole makes the save, and Mearns again with almost another second shot goal. Tom Young calls a whistle, blows the whistle. I don't know why.
We have a timeout. We have the ball on the floor.
The beach ball. Bill Fox telling us about that ball, folks. It's a little too big to go on the stick. Believe me, if we could use it, we'd try it. 1:18 left. About 38 seconds and counting on that penalty. As
Keep
Buffalo,
your sticks down, Thorpe. Let's go. Hard to push.
I want to let you hear Fox. There's about 13 seconds difference on the penalty and the shot clock. Rochester will still take their time. They are very efficient in their change, so might get one more shot. 4-3 on the shot clock. Here comes Rich Kilgore. Whoa, the rocket goes off of, look at Cordingley being held by Emick, getting around the head. 11 seconds on the penalty. Now it counts down. They may not even get a shot. They're taking their time, switching it up. They're not going to have much time. Here comes Paul Gait. Now he accelerates in. Here comes Mearns in close, and Jacobs finds rope. They had literally no time on the penalty, And when Paul Gait saw the time was coming down, they pushed it down. 2 passes. It was Gait to Mearns. Now Mearns will find Dewey Jacobs. Mearns and Jacobs working the 2-on-1. And what a beautiful finish by Dewey Jacobs. 4-2, a 2-goal lead. Jacobs' second straight goal.
Rochester goal, score number 34, Duane Jacobs.
2-goal lead against Rochester with just about a half a minute left. Watch out, picked off by Fietta. Great read by Fietta, who's getting better every day. It takes about 2 years, most coaches will say, to really pick up the nuances of this major indoor lacrosse league. Here's Paul Gait with some room. He's so tough, in close, can't get the bounce shot tight.
Holding inside, loose ball. Back to Rochester. Loose ball, hold, because you got a hold of a stick. No. Throw him back up top. Up top.
There's Kilgore making his point. Bill Fox having none of it.
Timeout.
Timeout called by Rochester. 16 seconds left. He wants to get one shot before this quarter is up. They've got a 2-goal lead. Rochester keeping the crowd quiet at the odds.
It's on 5, and that's what they'll do. 8 seconds, okay? Take it right at the top. Rep.
How about this?
Forward. We don't want to.
No, keep the ball up here. Me and Chris switch.
Loose ball. Okay.
Hey, if you want, we can get whoever's down with me wide open if Canal checking. Watch for them. Just go face guard. I mean, I got to run right off.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, you guys worked that 2-man game, but Manny's going to beat that guy up top. All right. Okay.
Shot or a pass.
All right.
Fucking off. They're breaking up the bench.
I didn't get a good read there.
All right, there's the play. You heard Paul Gait talking about it.
Good job.
17 seconds left. Barry Powless just called a timeout. He'll start this play with Ryder. They expect Gait to get face guarded and a lot of attention. They're looking for one good shot with 7 seconds left.
Let him go, Tommy, let him go.
Now up top, Driscoll checks the clock, trying to get it to Paul Gait. He knows he only has 2 seconds. Driscoll really not making any motion. And that was a pretty weak shot. Driscoll just burned up the time. Didn't run hard at all, but they had a great first quarter. Rochester winning this quarter by 2. Getting ready for quarter number 2 in just a moment. Paul Gait is a franchise kind of player. Look at this goals per game. Lifetime average, over 3 goals a game, 1.5 assists, 4.6 points in his lifetime. That's the average. And this year, he's about there, but his goals are down, his assists are up, and the bottom of that graphic showed you that this man, Paul Gait, scored 7 goals in his first 2 games, and he has scored only 10 since. Paul Gait is suffering from a little bit of a back injury in watch number 19 to see if he is comfortable running as the game progresses. This face-off is won by Buffalo. Now we'll see, because they've switched sides, they really can't get Paul Gait and the offensive players off the field. I like to save Paul for just there he is right there, number 19, to see him save himself a little bit. Play a little bit of a zone. Tavares up top. Now all the big guns are there for Buffalo. Rich Kilgore, pick and roll by John Tavares, but knocked down beautifully by Paul Gait. He's off and running. He'll be tough to stop. Fair comes in. It's Fennell. Gait, Fennell, and Fennell makes a tremendous check. We talked about that matchup. It was Fennell who came down and made one check to strip the great Gait. Here he comes. This is usually a 90% finish. Look at the check by Fennell. So clean, so well timed. He's got tremendous speed. Meanwhile, Veltman knocks one home. He's got rope for Buffalo. They're back to within 1. This is a reverse angle. Veltman comes flying in. He's got such long arms. He's 6'2", about 185. He's got such long arms. Watch him reach way out and go around Chugger. Nobody picked up Veltman, who is predominantly an assist man. We talked at the beginning of the show about his assists, but he can do it all. He will do whatever's required. Veltman feels like he should score more, and he went to the net. He got roped. Back to within 1, Buffalo is, as Soudan wheels in front. That one finds iron. That one came right off the post. Veltman, not usually a goal scorer, Christy Lee.
Not really a goal scorer, loose ball kind of guy, but you were kind of out there by yourself. Kind of surprised someone.
Yeah, it surprised me, and then he gave me half the net, so I guess he knew my shooting percentage.
Nice way to start off the second quarter.
Yeah, we need that to get us going.
Jim Veltman, Lee.
He does whatever's required. Jim Veltman, in 1993, Christian Athlete of the Year. Fellowship of Christian Athletes gives that to deserving people. Right there, though, Brian Hall. He burns Dietrich. Watch Dietrich's mental psyche, reverse angle, and this one, watch Hall just crack. He's got rope. Brian Hall, not a big goal scorer either. This shows you why, with only his 7th goal, this team from Buffalo is hard to focus on. A lot of guys who can score 1 goal a game. You just saw 2 of them, Hall and Veltman. They've got about 11 different players that can give you, on average, 1 goal a game, as well as the big guns, the Cordingleys and Tavares. In close, Mearns can't beat O'Toole. Here comes Hall. He just scored. He's got the ball. Looking far side for Luke. Luke's on the far side, but he was cut off by Fietta. Trailing the play is Dietrich. Cranks it. Dietrich just gobbles it up. Neil Dietrich, a great story, playing here for Buffalo, played for Boston last year, and also played for Detroit in his early years. Dietrich used to play mostly defense in this league, has proven himself to be a pretty good offensive threat. Rex Lyons. That check takes him right out. Just going close. Lyons can't finish, but Paul Gait gets the ball. Gait can't finish. What great athletic ability. And he is killed by Dietrich.
Back inside, that ball here.
They would call a hole, but Dietrich leveled Paul Gait. Absolutely leveled him when he was being held up. Paul Gait against Cochran. Paul Gait got right in front, showed great skill to get a shot off.
Pick it up. Don't take him out.
Paul Gait 1-on-1. Now they're trying to pick and roll Rex Lyons. Look at the Dodgers coming in, holding him on the neck. Looking for the call. He gets a delayed call. Park to the finish, but didn't get it. Delayed call on the defensive Cochran on Gait.
Stay away. Stay away.
Ryan Hall talking to Bill Fox. It was Dodgers, though. Dodgers on Gait, just holds him up. Gait makes sure it's dramatic enough that the referee's attention is there. Dodgers gets, not Cochran, it was Dodgers, obviously, that gets the 2 minutes in the box. A tie game, 4-4. Now it's Driscoll and team. Bad shot, inside, finish shot. He can't find the 18 square feet. Looking for rope. Driscoll with a lot of shots early on. He want to move that ball. Interference will be on Driscoll. He'll go to the box. Driscoll interfered with the goalie.
On the interference.
So all right, Jimmy.
You can't interfere with this guy. Now look, he checks down on the goalie's stick.
Back with the goalie.
You got to give him that throw. You got to give him the cylinder extended straight up. So now you're playing 4-on-4, folks. That was an opportunity that was just blown by Rochester. First two pretty quick shots by Driscoll. Weren't great shots. They didn't get any ball movement on their power play. And then the Jacobs play makes it a 4-on-4 game.
Let go, Reggie.
Cordingley. Mearns will get a 2-minute penalty. Delayed call again. Ooh, it's getting ugly for Rochester. Watch Mearns just mug him. He'll come around, he'll hold him, he'll pull him down. Cordingley gets the shot off. Nice bulldog move, but Mearns gets 2 minutes. Now it's a 4-on-3 for this juggernaut offense of Buffalo, averaging more points than anybody in the league. Power play so far from Buffalo, but no scores. I talked about this team really better in transition. They're better finishers when they've got a little bit of motion, a little bit of an unsettled defense around them. Referee helps with that ball. Goes back out to Tavares. Watch out. Kilgore got low. Tavares draws the defense, dares Kilgore, cranks it. 1-goal lead for Buffalo. It was the reputation of Tavares that drew the defense. Watch Tavares pull the defense to him. Now he gives it back to Darius Kilgore. 2 steps, a rocket, and he finds rope. His hat trick was made right there. He's got 3 goals. This game is only 20 minutes old. Darius Kilgore did not play last game against Boston.
Four.
And
One
he's
guy
hungry.
out. One guy.
So that eliminated 1 of the penalties. Now each player still has a man in the box. It'll be 4-on-4. Delay of game against Buffalo, so Rochester gets the ball. Paul Gait comes on. This kind of setup will help Paul Gait a lot more space. It's the matchup we talked about. Paul Gait and Fennell. Paul Gait and Fennell 1-on-1. He powers in, looking for the finishing shot, cannot get it down. Fennell just riding him out. Not just stopping him, just riding him out of his effective shooting zone. Driscoll. He finds Rove in close. Driscoll really getting good accuracy this year. O'Toole gets burned as Driscoll gets his 2nd goal of the game. It's tied at 5. Watch Driscoll come in. The defense sloughs off. Now he's got an open shot. Just burns it over top of Park, who took a dive. Park screened O'Toole a little bit on that one. 2nd goal tonight for Chris Driscoll. We featured him in the face-to-face at the head of the show. I'll tell you what, this guy really has put up career numbers for his play. Again, Darius Kilgore dumps it down to Cordingley. Loose ball, watch out, nobody in the net. Chugger get back in the net. Veltman back to Tavares. And Dietrich almost got himself in trouble. Watch out, Darius Kilgore coming down. Here comes Cordingley.
Go ahead, I'll put it back in play. Stand up.
How we doing up there in the oranges?
Here comes Pete Park and company as O'Toole picks up the ball.
In the blues.
And now far side
in the reds. In the oranges.
Here comes Buffalo. Game tied at 5. Right now there's a penalty or an advantage. Mearns is still in the box. This is a power play. Here comes another shot. Rochester getting it down. And now let's go down to the bench. Driscoll's had a big game so far, Quinn Kesnick.
Goals so far. Tell me about what it's going to take to beat this Buffalo squad.
We just got to keep working hard on defense and get our breaks out there, and we should be okay tonight.
They should be okay is right. Rochester just scored their second in a row, putting them up 6-5. Hollenbeck lead.
Well, that's a well-deserved goal from a great effort, but Hollenbeck's not a guy you expect to get goals from. Watch Hollenbeck launch himself in and just rock it off the iron. He brings it inside from the far side. Watch it hit the pipe and come back to the net. Far side, iron, and comes right back to the near side. Beautiful job by Hollenbeck. And I tell you what, it seems like every time you need a goal, we just go down to the sideline for an interview and they get one. 5 goals for the Bandits, 6 goals for the Rochester Knighthawks.
No, wait, pick him off right there. Right off the ball, we're going back Buffalo ball. We got to pick off behind the play. We got to pick off behind the play, we're going back Buffalo ball. Pick off that way.
Teams at even strength now, 5-on-5. As you look at Bill Fox, he's mic'd. You hear what he's going through down there.
We had to pick off behind the play. Ball was between the goaltender's feet. And a Rochester player came in, and that ball hit a player. We're after the ball, so we had to turn the ball back over to Buffalo again.
All right, good explanation by the Fox man. Far side goes wide. Chugger blowing that one to the right side of the net. And he gets that loose ball. 8 minutes left. 1 goal lead for Rochester, who has not been behind since Darius Kilgore scored for Buffalo to open this game up. Then it was 3 straight for Rochester, and they've been in front ever since. Ryder tries to get it into Mearns. Now Ryder again. Back door. Finish shot by Lemon. Textbook. They're getting a lot of second tries. Watch this ball come bouncing back out. Ryder first fakes like he's going to shoot backside. That's the end of it right there. They just finished and made it look so easy. Ryder backdoor to Lemon. And when you can get it that cleanly to the back door, the skill of these players makes the goal fairly easy. Here comes Luke. Wraps it behind the back. Luke was the #1 draft choice of Buffalo this year. The 3rd pick overall for the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. Ryan Hall, the bench. Cochran. 2-goal lead for Rochester.
Go, Cox, hit the touchdown now. Let's go. In the door.
Luke comes in and Dietrich makes a big save. Silcott got the warning. His helmet came off, and he almost played a little bit too softly after he got the warning from Bill Fox. Because his man
got a shot. The shot's off. The shot is off.
Just about scored. Lemon with a big goal. Quinn Kesnick has him right now.
Brian, that last play, you were parked on the backside just watching the play happen. You guys really moving the ball up.
We're doing well tonight. Matty Ryder just caught me at the corner of the crease there. Beautiful pass. All I had to do was shoot it.
Any keys offensively while you guys are scoring more goals this time as compared to last time you played them?
Defense. We're playing good defense, good transition, shutting them down. Getting the offensive chances.
Shooting Buffalo lead right now 28-21. They look sharp.
And they have that 2-goal lead. What we have to watch out for, Quinn, and you might get some comments from the guys later on, is that run. There was a run in the first game where they scored, Buffalo did.
Behind. We're going back Buffalo ball. Stand up. Stand up, Buffalo. Buffalo ball.
Buffalo had...
Push. You okay inside?
Buffalo had 7 goals in 5 minutes in this last game. Other than that, Rochester was in control. So I'm sure Rochester's bench is thinking about that run, not wanting that run to happen. You've got to watch the multiple goals that they can score so quickly for the Buffalo side. They change up as Buffalo brings it down with 6 minutes left, a 2-goal lead. The great one. Paul Gait cannot find the corner. Paul Gait has had a lot to deal with this year. His accuracy is a little bit off. Gary Gates' accuracy is much. Hold call against Soudan. Tavares brings him down. Now we'll take a timeout right now. We've got 6 minutes left.
Official timeout.
A 2-goal lead for the visiting Rochester Knighthawks.
one thing. One thing that Paul has is that Paul likes the ball and Paul's going to go and shoot the ball. So you don't really have to worry about Paul passing the ball all that much. So you can key more on him holding the ball. And if you get two defensive guys and sometimes even a third guy that comes across to slide into him, you can make his night awfully tough for him. It's the transition goals that you need to take away from him. If you can get those taken away in the 5-on-5 situations, I think you can play him pretty tough.
Action earlier tonight. Watch how Fennell is playing Paul Gait. He wraps him up as tightly as possible. Paul Gait using his size to come in and take the shot. Finally gets it. But I think the criticism or the discussion of Paul Gait's style has been true in the past, but not this year. The numbers on Paul Gait, you saw him big in the assists this year. So he is giving the ball up much more than he ever has before. I think one thing that he has suffered from is a lack of time on the field because of business interests and the back injury. His accuracy is not near as sharp as his identical twin brother, Gary Gait. We'll see that next week in our coverage because Philadelphia is coming to town here in Buffalo. But Gary Gait can pinpoint the corner, and Paul can...
No reset. No reset.
But not without a lot of practice. Bill Fox saying no reset. Obviously, here they go. The ball dug down to the corner.
No, off the defender, off the defender.
Bandits bringing it back.
Brian Hall.
Brian Hall.
Check by Mearns, brings it back to Fiat. He's got good speed. He's picked up there by Luke, who just hammers him. Luke is a tough customer. #1 draft choice. Mearns, rocket, easy pickup. O'Toole with the outlet pass. Here comes Luke. Dietrich has been gobbling up these shots.
Right there, goalie interference.
Interference on Ciccone. There's your score, 2-goal lead for Rochester. 4:30 left in the half, the first half only. A lot more time, but Rochester, as I mentioned, does well when they are leading or tied at half. They're 0-3 if they're behind at the half, so this looks good for Rochester. Timmy Soudan trying to wheel himself into the cylinder. He's got room. He can't get it past O'Toole. Bounced a little too sharp. Dodgers comes up. He doesn't see Soudan. It almost went in. Dodgers stepped out of the crease. Now there's nobody in the net. Soudan can't get it from O'Toole. O'Toole is excellent on the ground balls.
10 count.
You've got to clear it in 10 seconds.
Let me put the ball in center.
And Soudan,
give me the ball.
Soudan's ride sends it back to Rochester.
Look at this. Right there, Chris. Your ball, your ball.
Paul Gait's on the field with Driscoll and Lemon, Park. Far side, Rex Lyons. Lyons, an opportunistic player. Into Park, you couldn't pick it up. Backside is Paul Gait. Gait and Cochran. Gait. Far side, Lemon can't get it past O'Toole. And now Paul Gait's got to run because up in front is Cordingley looking for it. Oh, but he cannot beat Dietrich. Dietrich's looked great, hasn't he? Dietrich has made all the acrobatic saves. This is more like he played last year. This is a big game, and when they need him, watch out. Rex Lyons, one-on-one. He's got rope. Lyons' first game of the night, but it starts with Dietrich. Dietrich comes all the way down to Lyons. Now it's one fake, goes high, beats O'Toole. A 3-goal lead for Rochester.
It's a transition game back and forth, and they're just hanging out then because we're not completing stuff here. Let's work our offense. Let's come down here and let's set it up. All right? Let's go. Come on.
Marty Cooper to his left as you look at him, and that is Les Bartley, who has a sensational record here. Last year, his team was a little bit unsuccessful to the likings of the Buffalo fans. He retooled a lot of new rookies on this team, a lot of speed with that youth. And this is one of the new players, O'Toole, who's had a pretty darn good night. Rochester right now, the 3-goal lead. Paul Gait has been very active in looking to feed and score. Paul Gait with Quinn Kessenich.
Paul, tell me about the transition here, the tempo of this ball game. Is this what you guys wanted? Is this what you expected?
Oh yeah, I think they like the fast break. We like the fast break. We haven't been doing it much, but tonight we're getting the opportunities and we're picking up some nice shots in front of the net.
You guys are hustling on offense in front of the cage, generating some second chances. Is that by accident?
Loose balls are very important, especially if you get offensive ones, because then it means you got a shot on net, and that's what you want, shots on net.
Rochester certainly a focused team, Leaf. With a win, they get into the playoffs. With a loss, they got to beat Charlotte next week to get in.
There's another shot down low, this time by Emick, but O'Toole bottles that one. And I talked about Paul Gait. I really think his shooting accuracy has been affected by this injury and about his lack of ability to really put time into the practice because of the injury and his new business. In close, watch out, Fair can't get it past Cam Bomberry, they're locked up.
Oh, you're holding him inside, we're going back, Buffalo ball. Right there.
That was a good check by the stealth bomber, Bomberry. He was on Fair, and Fair had an open shot. He locked him up. They're chipping away at each other down there. I wouldn't be surprised to see a penalty between Bomberry and Fair.
You're both going to the box, let's go. Go and sit, go and sit.
As predicted.
One each, rough. Bomberry.
It happens down there, right in the middle of your screen. These guys going at it. It happened after the last chippy defensive move by Bomberry. Fair came back, started swinging the stick at him, and they just went at it off the ball. And Fox was, had the vision to go ahead and see that happening off the ball. Didn't let it get out of hand, stuck him in the penalty box.
Where's the ball? Where's the ball? He's got it, okay? Where's the ball? Put in play.
Ball in play by Darius Kilgore to the far left. It's 4-on-4 right now. Pick and roll with Cordingley. Cordingley and Darius Kilgore. Cordingley trying to work himself inside. Here comes Darius. Can't beat him. Veltman, the human vacuum cleaner, the dirt devil. Inside, here's Kilgore again. Another reset, the ball still loose. But Dietrich making a tremendous save. He's been all over the net. Veltman get those loose balls. He is so good at it, the best. Check from behind.
Buffalo ball. Right ball here, right. Take it back, Jimmy. Take it back to the dive, right there.
Not a bad check by Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck came in and just cleared out the dirt devil. Tavares looking for a pick and roll to Veltman. Tavares just takes one, and now Veltman gets the ground ball. He's had about 5 ground balls on this possession. Tavares. Thorpe, the defensive specialist, matched up 11 on 11. Veltman with his long arms. In towards Cordingley. Wow! Close to finish, but it was Dietrich's shoulder save. That one saved by Siltott. They've had an extraordinary amount of shots on this possession. And they'll have another one.
Hold it back. Ball, ball's up top. Ball's up top, 32.
I'll tell you what, Thorpe is really tired. See if Thorpe is ineffective. Thorpe's got to stay with Dowling. He can't do it. He's tired. He's been playing Tavares. He needs a blow. Backside is Cordingley. Amick wrap check. That leaves him open. Watch out.
Reset.
That was touched by Dietrich. All right, they've had about 10 shots down there. Les Bartley says, wait a minute. We need to get a goal. Nice shots, but let's do something right. We've got a 3-goal lead for Rochester. Les Bartley has something in mind. He's seen a lot of shots. He wants rope. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve.
Randy, listen up. To bring the ball up. Okay, guys, let's just giving you relaxing time here. Just relax a little bit, all right? Moving the ball well. Let's just work the ball hard that way. Just working our picks up and down. What I want to see is Jimmy, with you with the ball here, left-hand side. Ted, you come in and jam Jimmy's man this way so he can roll that way. You get it back to the inside. The right side has to hold, okay, on the outside. Okay? Rich.
Well, he's looking for Veltman to get the ball, and he wants Veltman to have it on the inside. He's a left-hander.
32. We're ready.
Veltman sneers to you to the left there. He'll inbound. They've got a fresh 30-second shot clock. There's the pick we're talking about, rolling inside to Dowling. He can't get open. Veltman finds somebody far side. It's Kilgore. Kilgore can't beat Dietrich. Ball down again, and here comes another ground ball from Buffalo. Ball loose. Dewey Jacobs, watch out. Thorpe's off to the races. It'll be Thorpe. He's a defensive specialist, but he'll shoot here. Back to the trailer. Lemon can't beat it too. Dowling ran back to play great defense. The offensive finisher came back and really saved that play. Thorpe finally comes off and gets a rest. Fietta comes on with some fresh legs. He better get there in time. Here comes Kilgore. Dietrich makes yet another save. You see Dowling coming off the field.
My ball, Randy. My ball.
This is Dowling. That's actually Rich Kilgore, number 16, a moment ago. They'll get that goal squared away on the plane. Timeout by Rochester. We'll go away for a second. When we come back,
no, he didn't.
It's going to be 30 seconds left in the first half. 3-goal lead for Rochester.
And we got what, 1 second?
Who's going to throw him the ball?
Balls? Well, actually, where's our...
back here.
Okay, we got to shoot at it. Yeah.
Hey,
one shot. Stay with it. Yeah, pull it for 10. And actually, we should pull... Oh, I know we should pull Chugger. Last time that burned us right in the ass, we did that in New York. Maybe pull Chugger for the last shot. Fucking hurt us. Go out, Chris, got to go out for the ball. Quick pass, get down.
Barry Powless has things set up, trying to get the ball up. He's got to hold 30 seconds to do this, so the shot clock is not a factor. He wants to hold it for 10 and then go into an offensive move. Down low, it's a good shot, finishing by Dewey Jacobs, set up initially by the Stoke Bomber. Beautiful jobs, and that was all Native Americans. Barry Powless, Native American, and the Dewey Jacobs combination with Cam Bomberry. Watch Bomberry come in, flips it behind the back, and now here's the great finisher, Jacobs. Hasn't had big numbers this year.
No timeout.
He is capable of scoring. This could be a real watershed kind of game for him to get him off and running. Dewey Jacobs, a hat trick already. 4-goal lead for Rochester with 16 seconds left, and they get the face-off. They can add to it right here if they take their time. Driscoll gets it back, looks inside. 5 straight goals scored for Rochester. It was a 5-4 lead for Buffalo. 5 straight goals for the Knighthawks. Watch out. Luke, great speed, and he is tackled.
No. Time was empty. Time was gone.
Time was gone. Luke does not get the call. 5 straight for Rochester takes them from 5-4 down to 9-5. They lead. This crowd saying, come on, Bandits. Bill Fox says this happened after the time was elapsed for the half.
Time expired.
No penalty on that one. Luke looks up. He's got great speed. Quint Kesnick, Dewey Jacobs looks like he's getting the offensive numbers back to where they used to be.
Duane Jacobs has got a hat trick already, and his Rochester Knighthawks are up by 4. You guys have scored the last 5 goals. Last time you played these guys, you had 9 goals in the whole game. Today you have 9 in the first half. Why?
I think we're just moving the ball a lot better as a team. Each line's moving it around. We're being patient, and we're breaking out well in our own end. We're forcing them to work hard on defense, and it's paying off for us.
Good luck in the second half, Duane, and certainly Dietrich having an outstanding first half. We've got some time here in Buffalo, New York. Let's spin it to our weekly segment, Rules and Tools, where we take you inside indoor lacrosse.
Rules and Tools of the Mill, brought to you by Pringles. So fresh, once you pop, you can't stop. Similar to basketball, good lacrosse relies on the pick play. The player circled is Chris Driscoll. He has the ball. Watch how his teammate Brian Lemon approaches the defender. As he's getting set to pick, this is a legal pick because it's from the side, and Lemon is able to get his feet stationary. If Lemon would have set the pick from the rear or would have been moving, that would have been illegal, nullifying this goal.
back to the Odd in Buffalo, where the undefeated Buffalo Bandits trail the Rochester Knighthawks 5-9 at halftime. Christy Lee along with Quint Kastanik, we invite you to join us for the second half. We're going to have some intense action, but let's quickly look at some of the things that happened in the first half, Quint. We got to start with Darius Kilgore. Darius Kilgore has a hat trick for the Bandits. His big score comes with a very surprise play for the Bandits. They pull their goalie. Darius comes off the boards, surprised Rochester, and gets a big goal to take him up 6-5 or 5-4.
Right, they gave him the 1-goal lead, 5-4. But Rochester came right back. Jeremy Hollenbeck launching himself across the front of the cage, beating O'Toole. That's only Hollenbeck's second goal of the season. Rochester went on to score 5 unanswered goals to take the 9-5 lead. One of the reasons behind their success tonight is their goalie, Steve Dietrich. He is just playing outstanding. He looks as if he's playing up to par as he was last year. Beautiful kick save right there. Dietrich has struggled this season, but tonight he looks like he's got his old form back, and he is sharp.
That's true. Dietrich has definitely got his confidence back, and the Bandits are going to try to shake that. They also need to pick up some more loose balls and stop the transition game of Rochester. Leif Elsmo will be back with stats as we continue.
Welcome back to our Bud Light halftime report, and this has been quite a game if you're a Rochester fan. Hi everybody, I'm Leif Elsmo. And the numbers look real even, but the real story is in the shooting chart. Let's take a look at the numbers first. The stats very close for both teams. You can see a little bit of advantage for Buffalo in the save department, which shows you that they are getting tested more with good shots, and that's the real story. Let's go to the shot chart and show you where these teams are shooting. First, you'll see Rochester shooting 24 times right in front of the goalie and scoring 8 times from those 3 key areas. Now let's go right to Buffalo's shot chart. You see they shoot 22 times almost identically, but only get 2 goals. Chugger is tough and close. Look, 3 goals for Buffalo were shot outside. He is not as effective outside. But this is what Rochester's been doing. They give and go. It's Bomberry in close, and Dewey Jacobs finishes in the face of goalie O'Toole. So we'll see if Rochester can continue to get the good shots and keep that 4-goal lead. Tonight's MILL Game of the Week is brought to you in part by the Buffalo Hilton at the Waterfront in downtown Buffalo, the official home of the Mill in Buffalo, New York. Back at the Alden in Buffalo, they've got that 4-goal lead to make up. Buffalo starting with a 4-goal deficit. Christy Lee's got Les Bartley. What's his game plan, Christy?
Coach Bartley, what's the game plan for the second half?
Well, we just need to play a little bit stronger defense on our end. We can't give them the second and third opportunities in front of our net. That's what we talked about. We just want to take the big game to them and try and run and relax when we have got the ball offensively. We've been trying to push things a little too hard, I think. And I think we'll be all right. We'll just continue. We're hitting a hot goaltender here in Stevie Dietrich. And, you know, if a few of those go in, we're well in the ball game here. Steve's playing real well for them. Hopefully he doesn't have a good second half.
All right, thank you, Coach Bartley. Q, what's the story over on Rochester's bench?
Coach Powless, going to halftime up 4 goals, got to be happy. How are you going to continue your success that you had in the first half?
Well, one of the things we identified we want to do is quick changes. With the pace of the game, we know we got to keep fresh and shut down their break. And quick change is going to do that for us, and also getting back on defense. There's times O'Toole had nobody pass to for the best break, and that's the key for this game.
Thanks, Coach. Leaf, look for Dietrich. You know, if Rochester doesn't play good defense, eventually he's going to start letting some of those shots in.
Well, Quint, the interesting thing is watch fair in front. Yeah, we talked about Dietrich, and Q, you know this because you and I talked about it. You see Rochester 2-0 and leading at halftime. They are really sensational with a lead or tied. But Quint talking about goalies, Dietrich is not as effective from outside shots. Baltimore can sting him for 16 goals because they shoot outside. He's a typical Canadian goalie who makes the acrobatic inside saves. He doesn't see that much outside shooting. Well, Buffalo likes to shoot inside, but he can be hurt more from outside shots. Here's Kilgore. He finds rope behind the back. A lot of space inside for Kilgore's 4th goal. No help on the slide. Mearns can't keep him out right around the back. Whoa, that was really something when he comes in close. We talked about the effectiveness of Buffalo inside. That's what Christie and Les Bartley were talking about. And they get right in the face of Dietrich. Anytime you get that open, you're going to stick it. 4 goals for Darius Kilgore, who didn't play against Boston. Really happy to be back on the field. And here they come. They're back to within 3. Buffalo scores first in the second half. I got one little note here for Les Bartley, or for everybody that would probably shock him. Cordingley, Tavares, and Dowling, no goals by any of them. There's Kilgore, 4 goals, Christy Lee.
Darius, let's talk a little bit about the play of Steve Dietrich. It's nice to come out here and rattle him right up the top.
I don't know how much it rattled him. He's playing unbelievable. I think in the last 2 minutes there of the first half, we must have had 10 shots. I myself had 2 right on top of him. I couldn't get it by him. So, you know, he's the puzzle we got to figure out to win this game.
Okay, thank you very much. Darius Kilgore, so far it's his night with the Bandits.
And Dewey Jacobs, who has scored in close just like that last move. You see the 3-goal lead now for Rochester. Dewey Jacobs got right in the face of O'Toole, but he made the save. That's Tavares trying to get open. It's a big check for Brian Levin.
Ball is down. We have a hole. We go back to Buffalo ball.
Tavares on a track for MVP, but here's the big news. Tavares, Cordingley, and Dowling all goose eggs so far. No score from any of those guys. Chugger looks for the outlet. Goes near side, this Ryder. Plenty of time. 3-goal lead for the Knighthawks. Driscoll far side. Watch out, the end can't pick it up. Tavares now rides up top and gets the ball back. That quick. Oh, it's loose though. Driscoll can't get it. He would have been trouble. Now he has it again. Looks up front for Park. Waves Park in. Park tries to finish it past O'Toole, but another great save by O'Toole. He's had a couple of real sharp saves early. Dowling with a dash. They're stepping it up here. He'll take a left-handed shot. Watch it come down to Dowling. It's a left-handed shot, not a great angle, but he's got such tremendous accuracy.
Ready.
And Dietrich thought he had a piece of it, but it sticks for rope. Now a 2-goal lead. That 4-goal lead has evaporated. That Dowling dash has been so effective. It's really the wrong guy coming out. They have different players coming out, depending on right-handed or left-handed. Dowling usually comes out going in the opposite direction. But this time, the left-hander really found the mark with a tremendously accurate shot. And I talked about the big 3 for Buffalo not having scored. Well, there's one of them with a goal right now. 9-7. 2 goals by Buffalo, the only scores here in the first 4 minutes of the second half. And the old K-Hawks better wake up quick if they want to be in this one. Lemon, Ryder, Mearns, Fietta, Dewey Jacobs on for the Knighthawks. 3 shots from O'Toole, and he's picked up all of them very cleanly. This is Dowling again, looking for the fast-breaking Ciccone. Ciccone's got it! Is Dietrich gonna yank himself? What's his psyche after another stinging goal? 3 goals in 4 minutes. It's a 9-8 game. Knighthawks by 1.
at the yard where the Bandits have come back. They're within one. Ted Dowling with the nice Dowling dash. We haven't seen that one tonight.
No, we've effectively taken that out of the game for the first half, and we'll try it in the second half to see what happens, and obviously it's working.
Nice assist to Ciccone, too.
Oh, yeah, it was all Dino's work. I put it ahead of him, and he's got the wheels, and he got it, and I'm glad he put it in the net.
Ted Dowling, the big offensive power on this Buffalo Bandits club.
Fair. He's got it. This game's tied. You got to watch if Dietrich's going to yank himself. But really, it's been not his fault. It's been all defense. Nobody's playing the fast breaks. Luke gets it way upfield to Fair. Fair just stings it, getting rope over Dietrich, but where's the defense? Thorpe came in too late. The Knighthawks let that 4-goal lead just run away. Here's Thorpe coming way too late. I guarantee you that Barry Powless is talking about getting back on the fast breaks.
No, listen. Listen, I know we had him. Listen up. It's a redraw. We had a withholding and a hold right there. Now you got back on, Jimmy. Where's the ball?
4 unanswered goals in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Buffalo hot. And I tell you what, the style is exactly what we talked about.
Back to a draw ball.
Another draw here, but we talked about Buffalo not being that great 5-on-5, but they are sensational in transition. Their transition game was not effective in the first half, and the second half they have stepped up the speed and transition, and they are finishing some big numbers. Looking for Bomberry, takes the own shot, and that easy save. Tommy Fair getting 2 minutes in the box.
My ball.
This guy squats Tommy all the time. Hey,
He's got him, let's go.
Tommy all the time.
Play the game in here, let's go.
It'll be on Tommy Fair, but he's going off the field. I don't know why he's going off. Tommy Fair went off the field. That's a penalty on him. You saw number 4. He walked to the other side of the field. Now they got to put him in the box. What a great pickup, though, Tom Fair is. He has been on the Canadian national team twice. And very instrumental in the win last week against Boston. He got the last 5 faceoffs. Paul Gait. But there's the final shot by Dewey Jacobs. Another 1-goal lead for Rochester. And how many times have you seen Dewey Jacobs follow up a shot tonight? All night long, you've been seeing O'Toole make the first save right there. Then the ball bounces out. Jacobs right there for the follow-up. He's got 4 goals on the night. Once more, bounces off the chest. Great block. But you've got to get possession, and Dewey Jacobs gets inside the Buffalo player. Don't forget, if you're in the crease, it's no goals. Great call because he was dancing around the white circle of the crease. That's a huge goal, giving back a 10-9 lead to Rochester. We watched 4 straight goals for Buffalo start this half. Watching close, Hollenbeck tries to get his 2nd goal of the night. Cam Bomberry has a great outside shot. Let's see if he takes one. Got a tremendous laser from way out front. Hollenbeck looking for something across crease. Trying to find Soudan down low as the shot clock went to 3, and Soudan was covered by Buffalo. Covered and smothered. It's been all fast break for Buffalo in the second half. They've scored 4 goals in 3 minutes before Dewey Jacobs answered. Luke looking to the crease. Back door to Hall. Can't get it through Paul Gait. Hollenbeck with some tough D. Can't get the loose one. Either can Ciccone. Watch out, Thorpe can. Up front, Paul Gait. Paul Gait's way in front of everybody. Here he goes, looking for Rope, but he cannot beat O'Toole. Whoa, O'Toole has had his number. Just another indication that Paul Gait is not at full strength. I think he's getting it back. Hold call. Ball goes back to Rochester.
Way to hold up the ball. Goes back to Rochester.
Back in Mr. Fox. Watch this. This is a goalie's nightmare. And when he is in his prime, that one sticks. Look at off the iron. He missed it by 1 inch. 1 inch makes that a goal. And that accuracy is what he's been missing just for practice time.
Right there. Your ball, Patty.
Ball goes back to Buffalo. If Paul Gait had time to get his normal practice in, he gets that goal. Hot shot. Shot from way outside is Tavares. Now Tavares nailing the player, Dewey Jacobs inside. As Rochester brings it back.
physical. This game is really getting physical. Off the boards, Lions look inside. There's a wide open Parker you couldn't see. Driscoll. No angle for Driscoll. Here comes O'Toole with a fast break, trying to get it down to Rich Kilgore, who is tied up. Mearns is really playing his tough, usual defense. Q's got him on the sideline.
Andy, we got a heavyweight battle going on right now. You guys, in your career at Rochester, only 1-7 on the road. You think that's a factor tonight?
Well, if it is, we haven't really thought about it. We just know we're playing a great, talented team, and we're just up to the challenge. We know we want to try and qualify for the playoffs straight away right now, so we're just going gung-ho.
Jacobs just hit the post there. Jacobs having a huge night, and Mearns is one of the keys behind Jacobs' success. The two of them work so well together.
You gotta have that pick and roll combination. Here comes Veltman. Fair. Takes an easy save. Watch the follow-up. Veltman has got hope. The Dirt Devil gets goal number 2. Look at the vacuum cleaner. Just pick it up. Now he goes little or no angle, but it was Chugger was on the ground. Dietrich was on the ground. Look at Veltman getting some support from Sawicki, one of the assistant coaches. When Dietrich went down to his knees, Veltman knew that he didn't need much of an angle. He just put it over his shoulder. That ties the game at 10. Track meet here starting. I don't know if a track meet does Rochester any favors. Emmett looking for a pick and roll with Silcott. And Bomberry talking about an inside shot. He's got a laser right there. He's got rope on that one, folks. That's about a 102-mile-an-hour shot, 100-mile-an-hour plus, let's say. He has really got a laser from the left-hand side. I was waiting for him to get space. He's got some space. Now watch him just wrap this thing around the defense, who ducks just to be safe. And that one gives Rochester yet another one-goal lead. The Stealth Bombers' 12th goal of the season. When we come back, 6 minutes left in the third quarter. One-goal lead for the K-Hawks. Don't miss Fire on Ice on ESPN2. It's the Boston Bruins against the New Jersey Devils Wednesday. That's at 7:30 Eastern Time. The Bruins led by 5-time Norris Trophy winner Ray Bourque, and the Devils are one of the hottest teams in the league. Let's not forget Fire on Ice on the Deuce. At the Aud, we've got some unbelievable action right on top of the ice. The carpet goes down, and then Major Indoor Lacrosse gets rolling. We've got an undefeated team, the Buffalo Bandits. They're down by 1 to the K-Hawks, the Knighthawks, expansion team last year. The Knighthawks really with a sensational first year last year. They got to the championship game, lost in a real tough one to Philadelphia.
Get him down now, Brian. Let's go. Stay on the floor here, guys. Stay on the floor.
Second half opened up with 4 straight goals for Buffalo. Some of his pad came out. 5.5 minutes left in this third quarter. 1-goal lead for the K-Hawks. Watch out as they get another shot. Watch the follow-up shot that's been burning O'Toole all night. The Knighthawks looking for a little bit of time. Jacobs now waving over Reiter. 5-on-5, all even strength-wise. Pick and roll for Jacobs. Reiter comes back left hand, doesn't get even near the goal. Here comes Paul Gait, doesn't get it cleanly. I'm telling you, Paul Gait's timing is off just because of lack of practice time. Up close, Fietta! He's got it, the shot clock expired.
count violation. Let's go.
Fietta in the face of Hall, but it doesn't count. Shot clock violation. It was 2 seconds slow. Great look from Paul Gait. They talk about him not passing, and historically that's been true. But that great pass gave Fietta a good shot. Kilgore in the crease. And that man wants to get open. They really fire it to him. Picked off by Veltman. He tried to get it to Gait. The reset was too quick. It'll go back to the Knighthawks. They're just saying they have to reset it behind the goal. Here they come. The goal was because of the shot clock violation. Bill Fox, right?
The time had run out just prior to the shot.
Gait cannot get numbers tonight. He's been getting some shots.
It's a hold. Goes back. Rochester ball. Loose ball hold.
Watch Paul Gait come in again. That's a replay. And you heard the buzzer go off just before. That goal went past the play of the goal before it became official. So that missed by about a second and a half. Here comes Buffalo.
It's the middle.
Rochester with a 1-goal lead. Late in the third quarter. Fietta just had a goal taken away moments ago. Watch out, following up the shot, and look at the rat check. Beautifully done by Luke. Here comes a fast break, 3-on-2. Paul's got Luke in front. He goes far side now. Luke, Tavares. Luke couldn't pick it up with Bomberry. Dowling and Driscoll just hammers him. Driscoll looking for help. Oh, he's hammered in the face. No call. Do you believe it? Driscoll cannot.
Stand up, Brian. Let go, Brian. Stand up. Stand up. Hold. No, no, no. We're not messing around. Teddy, we're not messing around here. Put you guys out. We have a hold. We're going to Rochester ball. Put it over here. Right there. Ball is down. We're going to hold. 2 Buffalo players and Rochester player. Loose ball hold.
Now, watch Driscoll get hit. Right there, the slash call, but no penalty as he goes down. Referee's real close. Actually, it looked worse in fast irregular motion. The slow motion showed that he missed the face mask, came down on the arm pad. 1-goal lead for the Knighthawks. Third quarter winding down. Ryder coming in. He gets checked beautifully by Dowling. Dowling picks up, looks at the outlet, gets it. Well, all the way up to Fair. Fair pulls it, looking for a roll. Can't get it. Great check by Mearns. What a nice check from behind by Randy Mearns, who used to play for Buffalo. Still a slim 1-goal lead for these Knighthawks. They had a 4-goal lead coming into this half and 4 goals in 3 minutes to start the second half. All the fast break variety. And since then, they've been trading goals. First Fair, then Jacobs, then Veltman, then Bomberry. They're holding Veltman. Now they'll look for the far side. That was Kilgore. A lot of size. That's for the 3 levels, but the biggest. Better shape this year than last year, and he's mugged by City Soudan. Watch the outlet pass to Paul Gait. Can he pull it down? Looking over his shoulder. And he roll back. Can't get it cleanly. Defense there by Dietrich. Dietrich just ran him down. Watch out. They'll be short on the other end. Actually, it's 3-on-3. They did a good job. Now it's 4-on-3. Watch out. Hall, Cochran. Chugger cuts the angle. Thorpe mugging Hall to try to get the loose ball. Mearns can't. Silcott can't. Finally does. Looking for help. Now he's off and running. Silcott, one of Nazareth's best players several years ago in the field game. Tremendous midfielder. Still a 1-goal lead for the Knighthawks. Minute and a half left in this third period. Mearns comes down, trying to go through space, and he is checked by Cordingley. Jacobs, shot clock down to 3. You better hurry. Soudan can't get it through. Cochran blocks it. They'll lose it on possession.
30-second clock violation.
The home team, Buffalo, who really leans on Tavares to win the games for him. We haven't heard from Tavares yet tonight. And don't be shocked if Johnny T, number 11, wins it for him when this is all over. He's done it so many times. The last 4 wins for Buffalo John Tavares has been the MVP all 4 times. He's number 11. Keep your eye on him. Inside close, check by Tavares. Good defensive check. He plays both ends of the field. That's what makes him such a sensational player. Gary Gait, probably the 2 most complete players in the league. Inside, that'll be tough, and Fair just misses. Johnny T comes off the shoulder. Paul Gait trying to get the fast break. He's got Park on the far side. Back to Park. Just a little bit up front, though. Look at Tom Fair just pull it down. Don Tavares on Mearns. He's got Dowling back door. Now he's got Fair near side. Fair. Shoulder save by Dietrich.
Yes, I got him.
There's Kilgore, checks the clock. 17 seconds in this quarter. You see it counting down. 1 goal lead for the Knighthawks. Buffalo's gonna get 1 more shot at Dietrich. Kilgore wants it. Double team. Mike Ventura knocked down on that play. Moving pick, and it goes to the Knighthawks, so they might not have time for a shot. They better hurry. They don't know the time is down to 2 seconds. They will just take the 1 goal lead into the 4th quarter. The crowd will be into it here, near sellout at the odd. 1 goal lead for the Knighthawks. We'll be back in just a moment. You want to see a great matchup? The Bandits and the Wings is going to be a clash of the Titans. The 3-time world champion Philadelphia Wings and superstar Gary Gait try to avenge their loss earlier in the season at the hands of the league-dominating Buffalo Bandits. You don't want to miss this high-powered grudge match Monday, March 25th at 7:30 p.m. on the Deuce. The Wings and the Bandits, the last 2 world champions. And he's in the house, folks. The E-Man. Taking a little thunder away from the Bandit mascot. Elvis is in the house, folks. 15 more minutes. Buffalo has won so many late this season. And we've set the story up for you because it's been number 11, John Tavares. He is on track to become, potentially, if he gets some numbers here, the all-time leading scorer in 1 season. He has won a lot of games for them. Let's see if he can do it tonight. Cordingley came down against Silcott, couldn't get it. Veltman, the loose ball, who else? Back door. Rich Kilgore didn't even shoot. Here comes Silcott. Great speed, just beats Tavares. Here he goes. He's got Ryder on the far side. Oh, they can't get a good clean pass. Ryder picks it up because Dietrich missed it. A clean pass there would have put intense pressure on O'Toole. Ryder was open, but they couldn't get it in his stick. Stat summary for the through the third quarter. Look at the shots. Rochester a little bit ahead, and loose balls as well. Face-offs about even. The big thing, of course, the tough goals. Look at the other run down. Johnny Tavares between the legs, and here comes Thorpe. Great play by Fietta, who's showing some sensational speed. Played for the Syracuse Orangemen in Roy Simmons' tremendous program. A lot of these guys did play for the great Syracuse field team. Rex Lyons, better off the ball than with it. Tremendous finishing. This is Park, the same kind of player. Not a good carrier. Driscoll can do it all. Up front, looking in close, and they couldn't finish. Jacobs has it again. Shot clock down to 1. This will be trouble. Park's the only guy playing defense, and he's not the one you want there. Back to Luke. Great check, though. Take it back. Park made a sensational check. The big-bodied Park really filled up the lane. My apologies to that guy. Peter Park showing that he can play the D. He's pretty big now, 6'4", 225, and he really clogged it up. Gait shovels off, pick out of the air. Let's see if we can get it off. Still loose. They try to find him again. Into Paul, who can't get it cleanly. Timing still a little bit off of Paul Gait as he gets bugged in the middle. Fennell. Here's Bomberry with a great outside shot. 19. Bomberry had it. They faked like Hollenbeck had it. Bomberry still with control, and they didn't get the shot through the defense of Buffalo. Buffalo showing a strong defense led by Veltman in the ground ball category. Ted Dowling now giving it up. Hey, great play by P. Park on defense, Quinn Kesnick.
Peter showing a lot of hustle there on defense. Offensively, you guys seem like you're pulling it out and slowing it down. What's the game plan?
I think we're getting a little conservative. We're not really trying to do it, but I think the nature of this game is making us getting a little cautious, and we got to start going forward a little more. We're not scoring.
This Buffalo team, you can't sit on a 1-goal lead against Buffalo Bandits. That was Peter Park. 93 career goals. I believe there are only 3 players in Mill history who scored more goals than that man.
And you got a lot of them at the Detroit Turbo franchise headquarters. That franchise is not in existence with Major Indoor Lacrosse anymore. He played there with Gary and Paul Gait, and they played together. Some of these players on the Buffalo squad. Ball checked away, watch out. Dowling wants a fast break. He's got only Mearns in front. Dowling, out of the box is Tavares. Tavares far side, here he goes. Can't pick it up cleanly. Mearns cut the angle. Good check from behind by Lemon. They can't get it up off the ground, though. Lemon's checked in the head. No call. You believe it? Here comes Cordingley. Back to Tavares. And they give him a push call.
The push behind and inside.
I'll tell you what, I'll go that check against Lemon. I can't believe they didn't call this. Watch this check. Right in the head, above the shoulders. That's got to be a call. Jeez. Almost took the guy's head off. Referees do a nice job, as you know. They just missed that one. Tavares.
Let's go to Jersey inside, Brian. Let's go.
Richie Kilgore. Richie Kilgore trying to find the corner. Tavares with a follow. And he gets it. This team is so confident. Tavares hasn't scored yet, but watch this behind-the-back shuffle pass. Takes it, redirects, bingo! Johnny T ties the game in the 4th quarter. He's the man you look to. He's the guy that they ride on when they need the big goal. And he's been coming up every game this year when they need him. Christy Lee's got him right now, the great Johnny T.
John, a huge goal to tie the game. This is kind of like a deja vu from last week.
Well, it's went so closer the entire way. And both goalies are playing really well. We got to pick up our defensive end of the game.
John Tavares with, what is that, goal number 34, Leaf?
It's a handful. He's got a ton. You don't have the stats in front of me, Christy. Just like you don't. We're both working this game hard. We've got Soudan in front. Tool makes the big save. But Tavares, we do know it's his first goal tonight. Watch down low. Cochran can't get it. Here comes Thorpe. Dietrich wants it. Dietrich can't get it clean. He finally does.
Right there, the crease that way, inside. Goes ball. Right there, Stephen.
The numbers on Tavares, 33 goals coming in. So, Christy Lee, you had it right. 34 goals now. His scoring pace is slowing down, but not the importance of the goals. It seems like his goals are always tying it or winning a game. Huge goals for John Tavares. Zaccone. He's got Dowling to his right. Dowling couldn't pick it up cleanly. This game is brutal in this 4th quarter. These two teams wanting it. It's a playoff spot at stake for Rochester. If they win tonight, Rochester clinches a playoff spot. Buffalo undefeated, you know they've got one anyway. We've got a timeout for Rochester. This game is tied 11 apiece. Driscoll, he's had a great night already, but they need more if they want to win. Knighthawks just called a timeout. This game's tied at 11. They want to get some offense going. They're going to need a few more goals. They've had a great game, but second half's been off Buffalo. Timmy Soudan working out front. Gets checked over the head by Tom Fair. Buffalo is really intense trying to maintain that unbeaten streak. Ball still loose. Shot clock has a violation right there. Quinn Kessick is on the Rochester sideline. What's going on, Q?
Two observations, Leaf. Randy Mearns actually called that last timeout after the defensive series. He came off the floor, told Coach Powless that the defensive unit was extremely tired. Offensively, Rochester, they're too bunched in front of the cage. They're not spreading well, and what's happening is on the turnover of possession, Buffalo is breaking, getting fast breaks. They've got to keep the even spacing, keep the offense spread.
And watch that great transition of Buffalo, because that's where Buffalo kills you. They got 4 goals in 3 minutes to open up the second half, and almost all of them are on transition, fast breaks, starting with O'Toole, moving it up through Dalton and company. They get it moving so fast, and they put it right in Dietrich's face. Indexing loose balls here. Rochester 50 at Buffalo's 39 minutes. Every time you look down, Buffalo, these last 15 minutes are getting the big ground balls. That one sneaks past O'Toole. We've got rope from Randy Mearns. Quint talked about Mearns getting concerned about the defense. Well, he comes up with a big goal to give Rochester the 1-goal lead. Look at O'Toole. He's had a tough game. Loose balls up here. Finally, they whistle that low rug burner. O'Toole can't believe it. He says, I got a piece of it. It goes in anyway. There you go. The 9th goal of the season for Mearns. The first tonight for him. And it goes down unassisted. Mearns, you got him again, Q. This time, not defense, but offense.
Randy, you kind of encouraged Coach Powless to take that last time out. How come?
Well, we're kind of getting out of our game plan. Buffalo's starting to fast break us. So we got to try and slow it down, get the ball moving around for ourselves on offense. Not give them so many fast breaks. We just keep on trying to trade goals with them. I don't think we should do that.
What about the follow-up effort on your last goal?
Just a shot. Basically got the rebound, just winged it at the net, figured it was there, and lucky he went in.
Randy Mearns having a big year for Rochester, really.
Buffalo getting a lot of loose balls down in their end. They continue to get the loose balls and put pressure on Dietrich. He gets this one, goes to Driscoll. 1-goal lead, 7.5 minutes left in the game. Knighthawks lock in a playoff berth with this win if they can get it. Long way to go. And Buffalo has won a lot of games late this year. Last week they beat Boston with a goal in the last minute, and then 30 seconds in overtime, Johnny T wins it. And there's a whistling shot by the Gator. The great Paul Gait just finally gets his sights on that 18 square feet. And the more he plays, the more his eye will come back. I just don't think his timing is as sharp as it can be, but he has tremendous skill. Look at him just wrap this one right through the old 5-hole. Tremendous velocity on that shot, and it was sheer speed that beats O'Toole and gives the Knighthawks a 2-goal lead. 13 goal. Paul Gait doing a lot of different things now for his team, not being the only guy who can score a whole handful of goals. He's not worried about scoring. He wants to make the team as effective as possible in the offensive end, so he will give it up now. Look at Bomberry get rocked by Luke. Soudan can't get it cleanly. Finally, Emick does. Looks for the fast break, but nobody's there. Watch out behind him. Now he goes over to Cam Bomberry, the stealth bomber. You saw his 100-mile-an-hour shot in this half. Lemon, fresh line comes on. Jacobs behind him. And Fietta, Pete Park. Park just takes that right in the old 5-hole.
Right there, right at your feet.
Interference on Lemon. Now it goes back to Buffalo. They have to make up 2 goals to tie this thing. They're undefeated coming into this game. Tavares, number 11, scored the last goal for them. That one off the iron. Travis Kilgore down low. Watch out. Dowling, a great finisher. He can't split the legs of Dietrich. Chugger's tough inside. He's had a good game overall. Travis Kilgore misses. Shot clock is reset, 25. Dowling. He can't find it. This will be a backcourt violation if he picks it up.
Over and back violation.
Paul Gait comes on. He has to feel better about that last shot. Watch out, Paul, man on you. It's Fennell. This is the matchup we talked about. Fennell, number 5. Not big, tremendously strong and fast. Pick and roll, though. Lyons sets him free. He comes in close. Gait finishes.
track now. Paul Gait, 2 goals in a row.
Okay.
Goal lead. Careful.
He's wearing the big C as captain. 2 straight. He takes on the full team. Look at him go right through Hall. No matchup size-wise there. He can run right over him and does. Goes inside of Cordingley, wraps it around his back. 2 goals straight, a 3-goal lead for Rochester. 5.5 left.
Back in Buffalo, Rochester up 14-11. I'm with Paul Gait, who scored the last 2 goals. Paul, tell me about that last goal, just running through the Buffalo Bandits.
Well, I got lucky. It was a nice pick up top, and I had a full head of steam. I just put my shoulder down and went through whoever it was out there, and was lucky enough to get a shot off.
You just put your shoulder down and decided to go to the hoop?
Yeah, and then moved my stick around a lot so the double team couldn't get it.
Paul Gait picked an opportune time to get things cooking tonight, Lee.
It was this pick, Quinn, actually by Rex Lyons. Rex Lyons set up the pick that got him free of Fennell. And when he was free of Fennell, the matchup was against Hall. He is much bigger than Hall. He drove right through him. He talked about the active stick that got inside of Cordingley's check, and then he just wrapped it around his shoulders and beats O'Toole. It was textbook Paul Gait. 3-goal lead. Buffalo needs to make up some time. Darius Kilgore has had a big game. Here he comes in close. He's got some great shots and tight. But that one picked up by Dietrich. Watch out. Soudan all alone. It's Soudan on O'Toole. Soudan looking for a little rope. He's got it. Cool and calm. Tim Soudan. It starts with Dietrich. He sees Soudan. Soudan just takes off. He gets way out in front. Now watch Soudan check the defense. He sees the attack, checks the defense. Now he knows he has time. Comes in, gets O'Toole set, and just finds rope. Hits the corner beautifully. And Dietrich, 2nd assist of the night. Timmy Soudan, his 13th goal of the season. And well-timed. There's 4 straight unanswered goals for the Knighthawks. Give them that 4-goal lead. It was tied at 11 in the 4th quarter. Right now we'll have a penalty, but meanwhile, Quint's got the score, Timmy Soudan.
Timmy Soudan, big goal in the breakaway there. You were kind of nonchalant there. You're waltzing in, and actually Soudan's got to go in right now, Leaf. He's on the man power play killing team, so I had to let him go. But I was just going to ask him about how calm he was as he attacked the goal there. Very relaxed, very in control.
He certainly was, and he stuck that goal right where he wanted to. But this is a key moment for Buffalo. They need a goal here. In close to Veltman, back door to Dowling. Oh, boy, was that sensational. Man, where's that play been? This team hasn't been scoring on the power play. And Veltman gets in the middle of the defense. Watch Veltman in the middle. They go first to the left-handed shooter. Now Veltman gets in the middle. Veltman takes it, doesn't look, back to Dowling, finishing on the backside. Couldn't have been more perfect, and Thorpe is just stunned because he's watching Veltman as that feed goes over his shoulder. Buffalo brings it back to the 3.
Right back. No. He picked the ball up, passed it back right away.
Dowling again inside, trying to get it into the goal. Nice check by Silcock. 4 minutes to go, they're back to within 3, and here comes the big offense. Ball loose. Thorpe looks to give to Chugger, he does. Chugger looks far side, he takes his time. How can that be a 10-second violation? They never had possession. Wow. I question again, I don't know, well, they had it right, I guess. You have 10 seconds to clear the ball, but you got to get possession first. Darius Kilgore, he rips. Kilgore
gets a hat trick plus 2. 5 goals for Darius. Watch him. Look at nobody's playing Kilgore. He loves it. Dietrich comes out to cut the angle, but look at the accuracy of the shot by Kilgore. He just hits the corner.
So when he picked it up and shot it back defensively right away. No back over, no back forward.
Now they're back to within 2. 4 straight goals a moment ago by Rochester, now answered by Dowling and Darius Kilgore, and they get yet another face-off. Here they come again. Cordingley has not been heard from. Watch the fast break. Paul Gait's up front. They try to get into him. Oh, they couldn't. Darius Kilgore came back to play defense. Chugger saw Paul Gait, but he knows that the clock is his ally right now. It's almost better to take off 30 seconds. Paul Gait's in front. Soudan thinks better. With the Pete Park, they're turning away from some opportunities to burn up some clock time. Pete Park inside to Duane. Jacobs can't get it.
Come on! 34. I got him.
Dewey Jacobs just had a real terrible check. This is horrible. Jacobs can't believe it. You better watch it. He'll get another 2-minute penalty. It was just a little stupid chip shot. Jacobs checked down on the goalie's stick. He's already been burned by that.
Delay the game. Crease violation. 34. 2 minutes. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
When you interfere with the goalie, it's called delay of game. Now watch Jacobs. He does it. Look at his arms. He knows he did it. He knows he did it. He knows it wasn't even an effective check, and he knows he made a mistake. He was hoping to get away with it. He did not. The Buffalo players right away said, that's a penalty, that's a penalty. And here, with 2 goals to make up, it's a great chance for Buffalo. Last time, they just picked apart Randy Mearns and company with Thorpe down low.
Correction, 2 minutes for a crease violation and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
Oh, you got a 2-minute unsportsmanlike as well, so he has to kill his team. In close, Tavares. Let's see if they're gonna have to play man short the whole rest of the game, unless they allow a goal. So Rochester really gonna have a tough time. Here comes Paul Gait, man short, cannot get it, falls off the iron. Pipe shot, Veltman. This will be tough because Cordingley's now against Mearns. Here comes Tavares. Out front is Kilgore, the big shooter. Dowling's in front. Tavares can't get it cleanly. Don't forget, they're a man short now. Rochester is. Buffalo has 2 minutes in the game. They'll have the full end of the game man up. Good man, Randy Mearns with a great body position. They call him for a hold. Veltman now will trigger up front. They're going to get into a new set. In close, Dowling and Pete. What a tremendous save. The save of the game on the arm pad of Dietrich. Dowling, backdoor. Backdoor to Dowling, and he's just sitting there. Dietrich can't save that one. The defense cannot let that pass go through that cylinder. Dowling gets 2 of the last 3 goals. That's 3 straight for Buffalo. Dowling's 3rd of the game. It's a hat trick. And this game is now in jeopardy for Rochester. Rochester control. This is the way Buffalo has been doing things. They're all even as it comes out. So the Jacobs penalty does release. Now you're down to the last 2 minutes. Can Rochester hold on? The juggernaut offense from Buffalo is red hot. Pete Park, watch out. Mearns down to Dewey Jacobs. They'll try to get it in the hands of Paul Gait. Here he is, Paul Gait now against Veltman. Veltman's got great reach. Paul Gait with Dewey Jacobs picking for him. Gait says, let me eat up some time. It's down to 9. Down to Driscoll now. He's only got about 6 seconds left. He's got to shoot inside, rolls, take the shot, down to 3, and they'll lose the ball. Jacobs with not a great shot. He had a shot, Driscoll had a great shot, but he gave it up. Every possession could be the last now with 1:20 left. Tavares is on the field. This is Travis Kilgore with the ball.
No, timeout! Timeout, timeout! Timeout, Buffalo!
Buffalo calls a timeout. They need 1 goal. There's 1:11 left. You see the time. We'll be back in just a moment.
was last week where they needed a goal, and it was Johnny Tavares with less than a minute to go that tied the game against Boston. And then, moments later, 30 seconds into overtime, Tavares rips rope and beats Boston single-handedly. Now, we're in the Aud. Sellout crowd, rocking and rolling. We've got 1:17 left, and they're down by 1. The goalie's still in. They're going to go with a 5-on-5 set. Les Bartley called a timeout. He has a play working. Buffalo has scored the last 3 goals. There's Chugger. He knows he's going to lick at one. He's going to eat rubber in a minute. Dowling, Kilgore, and Dowling is the scoring in the last 3 goals. Dowling into Veltman. Whistle blew. I don't know what the call was.
Time count violation. We had 6
Shot
seconds
clock
left
violation.
before the timeout.
All right, they call a timeout. 3 unanswered goals for Buffalo. I just mentioned the scores moments ago. It was Dowling, and then it was Kilgore, and then it was Darius Kilgore, rather, and then Dowling. Less than a minute to go. Soudan working against Hall. Into Gait. The Gator in close. He can finish it here. Down to the finisher. Oh! Dewey Jacobs. Jacobs with the finish off the great feed from Paul Gait. We talked about Gait as you look at O'Toole. We talked about Gait. 5 goals for Jacobs. Gait gives it up here. He gives it to the finisher. The finisher makes 1 fake, 2 fake, and buries it. This team is benefiting from Paul Gait giving it up rather than shooting all the time. And Jacobs, who made the big mistake moments ago in the penalty box, gets a chance to redeem himself with that goal. They've got to make up 2 now with 42 seconds left. Rochester packing it in. The goalie coming off. There's Kilgore dives in. It's loose. Now it's 6-on-5. The goalie is out. There's no goalie on the other end of the field. Silcott gets the ball. He can throw for the goal. Here he comes. O'Toole running back. Silcott looking up. They just used the clock. They're going to use the 20 seconds. Forget the shot on O'Toole. Park. They're going to win this one, folks. What a game for Rochester. Dewey Jacobs could have been the GOAT, but he has the game well in hand with the last goal, and Rochester is going to stun Buffalo. And Gait puts icing on it. Exclamation point by Paul Gait, 17-14. He knew there wasn't much time left, and he wanted to stick one against O'Toole. Hat trick for Paul Gait, all in the second half. Look at that finishing shot. Gait gets actually a hat trick in the 4th quarter. All his goals coming in the 4th. 3-goal win, it looks like, for Rochester, assuring them of a playoff berth. First loss of the season for Buffalo. And the Knighthawks stun the crowd. Time is out. The 3-goal win for them. It was Dewey Jacobs with 5 goals leading Rochester. He could have been the GOAT because he was in the box, but he goes back to win with his Nighthawk team. We'll be back with our final comments and our interview with the Bud Light MVP. Stick around. Tonight's major indoor lacrosse league game of the week on ESPN2 has been brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. By Bryan Lacrosse Equipment, the first name in lacrosse equipment and apparel.
Quinn Kesnick back in Buffalo tonight, where the final score was Rochester 17, Buffalo 14. I'm with Steve Dietrich, goalie for Rochester, the Bud Light MVP with 42 saves. Steve, last week you took yourself out of the game early. You bounced back tonight with an MVP performance. Shades of last year's saves, kick saves, tremendous saves. Tell me about it.
You know, Quint, we're comfortable playing against Buffalo. We play against them all summer, and you know, you basically relax and you take things easy, just like it's a summer game. You know, we don't put any added pressure on ourselves, and you know, maybe that's the thing. We put too much pressure on ourselves against everybody, especially myself. And I've been struggling all year, and Derek Collins is playing great, and he's pushing me. And we don't have a #1 goalie on this team. Either one of us can do the job, and I'm just glad I did tonight.
Tell me about when you guys get a lead against this Buffalo squad. It's got to be scary because they can score in spurts and they can come back so quickly.
Well, you know, you never have a lead that's too comfortable against Buffalo. You know, anytime you get Jimmy Veltman, Troy Cordingley, John Tavares, Ted Dowling, Driscoll, I can go on and on. Anytime you have an offense like that coming out, you can't take any breaks. And you see, we did. We got into trouble, penalty trouble late, and you know, they almost buried us. But Dewey and Paul really got a great goal late, and that's what really pulled it out for us.
Steve Dietrich was a brick wall in goal tonight for Rochester. Looks like they're going to advance to the playoffs, Leaf.
And they've got the great guns to make anybody afraid to face them. Buffalo may get another shot as the playoffs start in just 2 weeks. For Christy Lee and Quinn Kesnick, I'm Leif Elsmo. Thanks for watching our exclusive coverage of Major Indoor Lacrosse. Rochester with a huge win. They are the nemesis of Buffalo, the team that Buffalo can't beat. Next week, the Philadelphia Wings, the defending Mill champs, against the Buffalo Bandits. That's March 25th at 7:30. You'll see it. This was a great one. Thanks for joining us.
it cleanly. Don't forget, they're a man short now. Rochester is. Buffalo has 2 minutes in the game. They'll have the full end of the game, man up. Good man, Randy Mearns with a great body position. They call him for a hold. Veltman now will trigger up front. They're going to get into a new set. In close, Dowling and Pete. What a tremendous save. The save of the game on the arm pad of Dietrich. Dowling, backdoor. Backdoor to Dowling, and he's just sitting there. Dietrich can't save that one. The defense cannot let that pass go through that cylinder. Dowling gets 2 of the last 3 goals. That's 3 straight for Buffalo. Dowling's 3rd of the game. It's a hat trick. And this game is now in jeopardy for Rochester. Rochester control. This is the way Buffalo has been doing things. They're all even as it comes out. So the Jacobs penalty does release. Now you're down to the last 2 minutes. Can Rochester hold on? The juggernaut offense from Buffalo is red hot. Pete Park, watch out. Mearns down to Dewey Jacobs. They'll try to get it in the hands of Paul Gait. Here he is, Paul Gait now against Veltman. Veltman's got great reach. Paul Gait with Dewey Jacobs picking for him. Gait says, let me eat up some time. It's down to 9. Down to Driscoll now. He's only got about 6 seconds left. He's got to shoot inside. Rolls. Take the shot. Down to 3. And they'll lose the ball. Jacobs was not a great shot. He had a shot. Driscoll had a great shot, but he gave it up. Every possession could be the last now with 1:20 left. Tavares is on the field. This is Travis Chugger with the ball.
No, timeout! Timeout, timeout! Timeout, Buffalo!
Buffalo calls a timeout. They need 1 goal. There's 1:11 left. You see the time. We'll be back in just a moment. This was last week where they needed a goal, and it was Johnny Tavares with less than a minute to go that tied the game against Boston. And then, moments later, 30 seconds into overtime, Tavares rips rope and beats Boston single-handedly. Now, we're in the Aud. Sellout crowd, rocking and rolling. We've got 1:17 left, and they're down by 1. The goalie's still in. They're going to go with a 5-on-5 set. Les Bartley called a timeout. He has a play working. Buffalo has scored the last 3 goals. There's Chugger. He knows he's going to lick at one. He's going to eat rubber in a minute. Dowling, Kilgore, and Dowling is the scoring in the last 3 goals. Dowling into Veltman. Whistle blew. I don't know what the call was.
Time count violation. We had 6
Shot
seconds
clock
left
violation.
before the timeout.
All right, they call a timeout. 3 unanswered goals for Buffalo. I just mentioned the scores moments ago. It was Dowling, and then it was Kilgore, and then it was Darius Kilgore, rather, and then Dowling. Less than a minute to go. Soudan working against Hall. Into Gait. The Gator in close. He can finish it here. Down to the finisher. Oh! Dewey Jacobs. Jacobs with the finish off the great feed from Paul Gait. We talked about Gait. As you look at O'Toole, we talked about Gait. 5 goals for Jacobs. Gait gives it up here. He gives it to the finisher. The finisher makes 1 fake, 2 fake, and buries it. This team is benefiting from Paul Gait giving it up rather than shooting all the time. And Jacobs, who made the big mistake moments ago in the penalty box, gets a